Hey guys, Magnus Robert here, bringing you another video. Of course, today we're going to be doing my content list video for the Simpsons wrestling update. I am happy to get this over and done with. This is the last video I'm going to be doing on this update, and thank God, because this update has been a bit of a strain. I haven't enjoyed it all too much, so I'm kind of glad to finally get this out the way. So let's get into it. So, of course, we've got with this content list, I'm going to go through all the items and kind of talk about them individually, and then at the end of the video I will give my overall thoughts to the update and kind of just my general opinions of it, I guess. So let's start with characters. So first of all, we have Captain Flag, Dr. Bonebreak, Iron Yuppie, and these three were the free characters. So these three were the ones that were completely free. I think overall as free characters, I'm not going to complain too much about free characters, but I don't think either of them are all three. I don't think all three are particularly that great. Of course, Captain Flag's Act 1. This is Act 3, and this is Act 4. I don't think any of them are particularly that great. And then we have the premium characters, so we have Professor Werner von Braun, Rumpelina, and the Beefy Bishop, and finally Rasputin, the Friendly Russian. Now, I think in terms of my characters, the ones I like the most, I would say Rasputin, the Friendly Russian is a good one. I don't think he's amazing, but I don't think he's a terrible character. I would say the Beefy Bishop is the worst character of the update by far. The second best I'd say is Rumpelina. Second worst I'd probably say the Iron Yuppie. He doesn't look that cool. A lot of this is based on looks. Captain Flag I don't particularly like that much either, but I guess he's my third. I don't know. I'd say he's my third best. My point here anyway is I don't particularly like any of these characters that much. I think the one I like the most is Rasputin, the Friendly Russian. So I'll give him a thumbs up. But it's a weak thumbs up. Everyone else gets a thumbs down, especially Beefy Bishop. That's honestly the worst character in the update. And then we got one skin, of course. This is Honest Abe. I think this is an okay skin. It's not terrible. I'm not a massive fan when skins are the final prize of an act. I think it's okay as long as, like, for example, if we get another character in that, say, like, for example, in that act we get a character, say, at the start of the act or, like, halfway through the prize track, and then we get the skin as the final prize. I'm fine with it then. I'm not a massive fan of skins as final prizes, just because I don't think the skins are the equivalent of characters. But I think in terms of it on its own, how it stands on its own, I think it's a fine skin. Next up we have some buildings. So I think the update was okay for buildings overall. With the Simpsons Wrestling Pavilion, we've got Tofu Bell, the Golden Ring Wrestling Headquarters, the Coot Society, University of Heidelberg, Springfield Episcopal Church, the Beefy Bishop's Barbershop, and St. Basil's Cathedral. I think the bad buildings is pretty much just, well, the worst building is definitely Beefy Bishop's Barbershop. By far, this is a terrible building, and it's even worse because it's premium. So this I'd say is the worst building of the update. The best building of the update is definitely St. Basil's Cathedral. Really awesome looking building. I think it looks really cool. The second best building, I would either say is the Tofu Bell or the University of Heidelberg, but I'm leaning towards Tofu Bell because it's an actual it's an actual Simpsons building, whereas the University of Heidelberg is actually technically a tapped out original. I don't believe it's ever appeared in the show. They've just based it off the real life building. But I do like it anyway. I think it looks cool. And then all the other buildings, I think I'd say kind of fall into a meh. I'm actually not a massive fan of the Golden Ring headquarters. Wrestling headquarters, but I would say, so I'd probably say that's a bad one as well. These two I'd say are the bad ones, and then I would say these three here, the Golden Wrestling, the Wrestling Pavilion, the Church, and the Coot Society, I'd say they go into meh, like they're okay, and then these three here are great. Moving on, we have building skins. This is the Town Hall Trash by Parting. Not a massive fan of this building skin. It's fine, I guess, but it's not a great one. Moving on. It's free at least, so it's not too much to complain about. And then finally, we have all the decorations. Or not finally, but next we have all the decorations. The wrestling dressing room. I hate this decoration. You know why? It's an interior. I don't like interiors. Fancy wrestling ring is fine. Golden wrestling statue is fine. Backyard wrestling ring is fine as well. Party limo is fine. The Burns excess pile is meh. It's all right. And then the championship belt. I thought it was a bell. It's belt. The championship belt it's kind of small, so I'm not a massive fan of it. I would say this is kind of bad. So I'd say bad, meh. I'd say these three are meh. Bad and bad. These two are bad. These kind of three here are meh. And then I'd say the golden statue and the limo are good. And then finally, consumables. We had, of course, the tokens, the Springfield Wrestling Mystery Box tokens. I'll say it one more time. I'm not a fan of these that much, but I don't think it's terrible because they weren't done twice like the Black History Month. They were only done once, so I wasn't too annoyed with them. Or it wasn't Black History Month, or was it the other update? I forget which update did them twice. Was it the Apes in Toyland actually? Who knows? But of course, you can convert these into donuts. Which is kind of cool, so it's not all terrible. And then finally, the Simpsons Wrestling Mystery Box, which obviously allowed you to unlock some kind of exclusive characters, which is pretty cool. So that's the update as a whole. My thoughts on it? It's kind of bad. I think overall it was not a great update. It was kind of bad, to be honest. I'm not a fan of it at all. I think if I was to give positives, there's some good buildings. And the theme is good. I don't think the questline was particularly great. It was quite mediocre, if not bad. I don't think it was very entertaining. There wasn't much comedy there, I don't think. At least I didn't find it very funny. So I think the questline was, honestly, I'd say bad. The theme's good. The buildings, I would say, overall are good. The characters are bad. The decorations, I think overall I have to say the decorations are bad because they're quite lacking. So I think overall this is a thumbs down update. It's not a great update. Also, this splash screen is very weird to look at. Yeah, so that's my opinions anyway on the Simpsons Wrestling update. I hope we don't get a part 2, because there is actually a bunch of wrestlers that weren't added, that were mentioned, like Half Mask, which is Captain Flag's sidekick. So I'm hoping to God they don't do a part 2. That would be the worst thing. But anyway, tell me your thoughts on this update. Tell me your thoughts on all the items. Did you manage to get everything? And yeah, I'll see you next video. Thanks for watching, and yeah, goodbye.